Hola my sexy compadres y mamacitas, mi nombre es Peter and bienvenidos to my video. Guys, I think you waited long enough for this video, so today, this moment, I am going to finally present you Majora's Mask is awesome. It's my favorite game of all time, and hopefully, me telling you why it's my favorite game will make it even more awesome. So guys, hope you enjoy. Hey all my sexy compadres y mamacitas, I got a question for you. Remember Ocarina of Time? Of course you do. It's that groundbreaking Nintendo 64 game. Well, Nintendo wanted to ride the good old type train and make more money, so they're going to implement the new system in a new game to do so. That new system was the good old 64 Double D drive. The new game had reports starting in May of 1999 when Famitsu pretty much stated along the lines of, hey yo guys, get your 64 Double D drives ready because there's a new project in the works that Nintendo's working on called Zelda, which really translates to Other Zelda. This was going to be a second quest/expansion pack to the Zelda Ocarina of Time game that we love so much, that would add new levels, items, and kind of like that good old DLC we have today. June of 1999, Nintendo announced the project will be now known as Zelda Garden, which roughly translates to Zelda Side Story. Long story short, the disc drive flopped, just like how the Xbox One did in Japan. And this new game hit many malls when dungeon designer AJ Numa showed many complaints to Shigeru Miyamoto. Miyamoto proposed the latter, saying, okay, if you want to complain, how about you create a new game, but you only got 1 year. After doing some experiments, the development team implemented this time-based system. They showed Miyamoto and he was extremely impressed, so he gave them more time. 18 months later, Majora's Mask was created. The game sold approximately 314,000 copies in the first week in Japan, and has sold over 3.36 million copies worldwide. Fewer than Ocarina of Time, which sold 7 million copies, but the reviews for this game were extremely positive. Even my favorite all-time great COD Day 1 DLC, it's gotta be Xbox One company, IGN, said nice words about this game. IGN described Majora's Mask as the Empire Strikes Back of the Nintendo 64. It's the same franchise, but it's a more intelligent, darker, and tells a much better storyline. And then you got GameSpot. Who freaking likes GameSpot? Many years later, Majora's Mask was ported to the GameCube in the Collector's Edition disc. However, the port had many glitches that would freeze the game up entirely. In 2009, the game made it to the Virtual Console, with less bugs and a lot of players reporting that the games run a lot smoother today. Well, this is the part of the script where I wrote today, Majora's Mask awaits for the 3DS. It shows many camos, especially in Link Between Worlds and Hyrule Warriors. But, well, as the time when I wrote this script to when I started to edit the video, Majora's Mask was announced to be remade for the Nintendo 3DS. I'm extremely happy for this game. Yet a little concerned, but I'll get to that later on in the video. Wait! You forgot to talk about Ben Drowns! It's my favorite! Stop! No! Stop! Not this video! Just leave! But it's... No! No!
뭐냐? 그래.
Stop with Ben! Just stop! Anyway. Where was I? Yes. That's the history from Majora's Mask. Next is the story. Finally get to talk about the story of Majora's Mask. My compadres y mamacitas, the story is fabulous. It is bueno, you know? Molto bene. I love it so much. Let's dive into it. Let's start talking about it. In the final events of Ocarina of Time, we're shown a conclusion and left more questions than answers. As Link laid the Master Sword to rest for once in a row in the Temple of Time, we see Navi fly towards the skylight, but we're never given any real closure to what actually might have happened. We're only left to assume that Navi and Link finally parted ways because the destiny that initially linked them together has come to an end. The exact time between Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time isn't really set in stone, but on page 110 of Hyrule's story, it says, months pass as he wandered in search of his companion Navi, eventually losing himself in a mysterious forest. let's dive in right now to our story, and it begins where we're immediately thrown into a land foreign to us. We join Link, who has fallen asleep upon a steed Epona, and they're wandering aimlessly through this eerie forest. Unknown to Link, he's under the gaze of curiousful and watchful eyes. While distracted, Link is ambushed, pow, pow, by these two mysterious fairies and their devilish companion. These mysterious strangers start looking at Link's stuff and rob him of his precious ocarina. Link starts to slowly wake up, scratch his head, figure out where he is. And stunned and startled by his awakeness, the masked minion jumps onto Epona and attempts to flee. And he's holding onto Epona again, dragged left and right. Dun 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 dun. The music is playing. You're getting pumped up. You're like, alright, yeah, I'm Link. Damn, Ocarina of Time. Yo, Majora's Mask. We're ready. Let's go. Boom. You think it's Link, he's holding on, bam! He's gonna hit on the rocks and pebbles and bushes, and he finally gets knocked off. He wakes up and you get control of your Link, and you say, alright, we gotta head one way, and we gotta get Epona back, and we gotta take down this masked minion who stole that ocarina, a precious gift and a treasure of the royal family. We get control of Link, and we find out what are we gonna do. We only have one place to go. We hop and jump on these new platforms, and before we enter this mysterious cavern that has a bottomless pit, we walk and we can't keep our balance, and whoa, and we fall down, and then we get this weird LSD, weird vibe with all these masks and moon shapes and stuff, and I mean, it's like he's falling down the rabbit hole. And to myself, and with many speculation, this is believed that Link is entering into a different dimension. Bam! Link falls on a conveniently placed Deku flower to break his fall, and he ends up in this dimly lit cave directly across from Skull Kid. Unsatisfied with the mayhem he's already caused, Skull Kid finds amusement in turning Link into a Deku scrub with his chaotic hallucination. And it looks like Link just refined the term of getting more than wood, if you get what I mean. Bada bing, bada boom. Anyway, with that, Skull Kid retreats behind a massive stone door. Whatever, Skull Kid was unaware or just really didn't care. One of his fairies, Tattle, is left behind with a satin Deku scrub. Link and Tattle decide to form a temporary partnership until Tattle finds her way back to her brother Tail. On the way through this labyrinth of Deku flowers, and where you learn how to control Deku Link, Link is greeted by a descript husk of what looks like to be the remains of another Deku scrub. While it doesn't say anything, Tattle makes this observation about it. It's strange, but the way you look at it right now, this tree, it looks all dark and gloomy. Almost like it can start crying any second now. Not knowing what to make of their newfound discovery, the two continue on with their journey. They finally travel through this hallway, reminiscent of those found on the forest temple, and it moves and whoosh, whoosh, and it changes the dimensions and turns around like, the Rubik's Cube in a way. The two companions emerge into what looks like a large clock tower. Working their way on top of the clock tower, they're greeted by an overly enthusiastic man who reminds Link of his terrible fate. But he might be able to revert Link to his former self. But he has to make out a deal. You have to reclaim that mask that was stolen from him, and recover your precious item, aka your ocarina. So Link makes the deal. However, Link is reminded he only has 72 hours to complete the task because the moon is about to crash upon the world and bring absolute destruction to the land. Link, being a hero himself, accepts this task. But then we find out later on it's one of his most difficult and emotional journeys ever. But, we'll talk about that later. Because let's talk about the story. This game is truly amazing. That's why Link is awesome. Majora's Mask. Anyway, let's get back. So, while ultimately trying to find gravity of the situation, Link wanders around through Clocktown. He joins a gang, purchases property from yet another Deku scrub, and finally on the third day, finally gains entrance to the clock tower. It is here that Link and Tattle are confronting the Skull Kid. But before the skirmish between Skull Kid and Link, Tattle demands Skull Kid give him back his ocarina. Let's stop this, you're turning into a monster. But she's interrupted by Tail, who makes a meek remark, trying to say, swamp, mountain, ocean, canyon, the four that are there, bring him here. But bam, a nice scaff across the face Skull Kid gives Tail. And Tattle, what are you doing, Skull Kid? We're friends, you're a monster. Link then takes action, using his sap shooting ability to knock the ocarina of Skull Kid's hand and recovering it. Upon recovering it, he gets a brief flashback between him and Zelda and remembers the power of the Ocarina of Time. Link then uses the Song of Time to travel back to the beginning of a 3-day cycle, and we were greeted by the salesman again. He says, you did it, you got your item back, alright, bada bing, bada boom, let's do this. He turns Link back to his normal self and then demands his mask back. However, Link couldn't provide it. This leads the mask salesman to throw a temper tantrum, telling how Link important to recover the mask is. This mask, an evil mask used for hexing rituals, has such power, has such evil in it, that it can bring absolute destruction and doom to the land. So, now Link and Tattle have an important journey to set off in high hopes of using the power of the Four to save the day and recover Majora's Mask. And that's only 2/3 of the story. The other chunks are emphasis on the side quests. These many optional side quests throughout the game explore many more subplots, ranging from helping a marriage, stopping frickin' aliens, and saving a zombified father, just to name a few. This game is very, very emotional. And that's why the story is so amazing. It's great. It's my favorite Zelda story. Termina's world is a parallel dimension of that of Hyrule. While there are many immediately aesthetic similarities, everything feels familiar to the player. This isn't to say that the atmosphere around Termina is normal though. Even though the NPCs are carrying on with their daily routines, everything seems a little bit unsettling. We're first introduced to Clocktown, the central hub of the land. The area may be cheerful and whimsical at first, but as the days go on, chaos slowly slips into the land, and the characters begin to fall into madness, depression, anger, fear. Then what surrounds Clocktown is Termina Field. Beyond that lies mountains, a swamp, a bay, and a canyon, with their own different landscapes, making Termina into a very unique land. The swamp is located in the south, where various monkeys, animals, and monsters live. Deep within the swamp, a Deku tribe practices its monarchy in the Deku Palace. With its relaxing swampy textures and colors, one would think that this place would be at peace. However, you can sense the decay of peace and sanity, as the waters have become tainted with this poison. The Snowhead Mountains lie north, inhabited by the Goron tribe. However, it's frozen over to seem by a peaceful winter, at first, a beautiful winter wonderland. However, the land is in fact frozen by fear and death that will send shivers down your spines the more and more you traverse through these mountains. The Great Bay Coast is located to the west and is inhabited by the proud Zora tribe, as well as the pirates. As the sparkling blue and sunny surroundings try to engulf the player in the tropical environment, the blues, well, make you feel blue. Finally, Akana Canyon lies in the east. Despite its bright yellows and browns, the color is bombarded by undead entities. As the moon creeps closer over the 3-day cycle, the player has this constant feel of paranoia and isolation. See, unlike Twilight Princess, Majora's Mask actually got it right in the atmosphere department. A game doesn't need to be colored dark and have a color palette something out of Hot Topic or a 13-year-old Tumblr page. An area with bright colors, like Swamp, whose colors pop out, have such a bigger impact than anything that Twilight Princess had. A game doesn't need to be dark to be dark. A game can be colorful to be dark. And the setting in the world of Termina is absolutely amazing. Now, other than the setting, what really immerses the play inside the game are the characters. Majora's Mask characters are the most fleshed out of the entire franchise. I'm gonna list a few of my favorites due to there being too many characters and I can't cover them in this video alone. Like seriously, I can do a 30-minute video just on characters. I got more wood than a Deku for the people of Clocktown. As being the central hub of Termina, this place has the most characters and emotion. You have the guards who are worried for the townspeople and want to protect them no matter what. They are stuck to their duty even though they know their own fate. These guys have cojones, unlike the pathetic examples of the guards in Twilight Princess. You have these macho chucheria workers who are denying that the moon will crash, calling anyone pathetic if they fled or are about to flee Termina. The guards and workers for 3 days will argue in the mayor's office and nothing will get done. Kind of like the United States government. Anyway, then you have the mayor, a man who wants to make everyone happy. However, if he chooses one side, utter chaos will arise between the councilmen. A swordsman who wants to implement his bravery and fearlessness into Link. However, deep down, he is terrified of death and what the moon will bring. A postman who is lost in the chaos of work and won't flee due to his work. And I know I'm gonna get hate for not mentioning him, so you have Tingle. who's just Tingle. There's so many more minor characters in Clocktown that play such an important role. These are characters that you, the player, need to interact with to get a better understanding of them. Up next is Cafe and Andrew, which is the longest side quest for characters in the game. They are lovers whose connection has been ruptured by Skull Kid's actions. Cafe is dealing with embarrassment of being turned into a child and have his mask stolen from him, which plays an important part to his marriage. His determination to fix everything and his love grows stronger as the day passes. But you have Andrew, who's dealing with the disappearance of her fiance and battling with the thoughts of her being her fault, getting depressed. But deep down, she doesn't give up loving him. Then we have Romani and Carmina, a pair of sisters who are plunged into a pool of problems. Carmina is the oldest sister and she's dealing with the death of her father. She is now the breadbearer of the family. She's also dealing with the lack of profit she's making from the farm due to bandits attacking. The amount of stress she's dealing with is absurd. Not to mention that, but she's already accepted her fate. Some of the citizens of Clocktown will be taking refuge in the Romani ranch on the night of the final day. Carmina reveals to Link that she knows she's not safe from the moon and the ranch, and sadly accepts her fate that awaits them. She knows everyone will perish. Then we have Romani. She's trying to disprove Carmina, who's not believing her alien tales. And if Link doesn't help her, shoot aliens COD Call of Duty first person style.
My voice can be connected with a game that's so hip and so hood. Drop the bomb. Oh my God! Voyage.
Like I said, if Link doesn't help Romani, she will be abducted and have some sort of lobotomy performed on her. It's sick. The next bunch is more dysfunctional than my Italian side of the family during Christmas. We have a missing princess, a blood-hungry father who can't find his daughter, so he found a monkey to blame and still won't come down, so he goes loco. And he decides, hey, you know what would be a good idea, paisanos? Let's execute a monkey. Because he thinks a monkey kidnapped the princess. A f***ing monkey. Dermani III suffered great embarrassment. Dermani was a renowned Goron hero. He was considered the greatest warrior of his tribe and possible heir to the Goron throne, but he suffered a terrible accident. See, Skull Kid had an idea. He had a funny idea. He thought he would make a joke. He said, hey, let's put a hex on a fat kid so we can freeze the land over, so the Goron people can suffer and die of hunger, and then the leader will try to save the day, but then will die in a terrible accident. Yeah, I think that's a funny prank. We could slap that on YouTube also. There's so much more. We have Lulu the singer who lost her voice. We have Pamela the daughter who's dealing with her father who now is a freak. Oh man, I wish I could talk about every single character. But we have to talk about the most important characters. The big three. Call me a hypocrite, but I'm going to consider Tattletale one character. Tattle is intently aggressive, blunt and hostile in her treatment towards Link. Her remarks about enemies are in a smart-ass tone. However, she admits that she admires Link for his bravery and actions towards the end of the game. Tail, however, has a more innocent and timid personality. He's unable to stand to the Skull Kid's constant abuse. He's a little smarter than Tattle, and knows Skull Kid was going insane. See, the point of these Blank is Awesome videos is to tell you why I think the game is so awesome. I don't want to spoil so many things. So Skull Kid is the antagonist of the game, and there's a lot to talk about. But I don't want to spoil everything. We know Skull Kids, if you played any of the other Zelda games, are very impish, childish creatures. They like to play pranks on people. They act like they have a sugar rush all the time. However, this Skull Kid is doing a little bit more than just pranks. He's killing people. He's putting hex on people. He's even bringing a f***ing moon down to crash the land. Is it the mask that's causing this? Maybe. Maybe the power of Majora's Mask is too much to handle for Skull Kid. Maybe he's not the true antagonist of the game. And at last, the final character. The most important character in Majora's Mask. No, it's not the mask. No, it's not the Happy Mask salesman. No, it's not even anyone from Termina. It's you, the player, Link. Why is that? It's Link's hardest and most difficult quest. Why? Because it destroys him emotionally. No matter how strong you can be, emotions can tear and rip you to shreds. See, in Ocarina of Time was pretty linear. Ocarina of Time Link was, even though it's the same Link, he was pretty much a piece of wood. He didn't really have any connections to the characters. Yeah, 7 years later, Hyrule was destroyed and it was tragic, but so what? Link didn't connect to any of those people. At the end of the day, he knew what he had to do. Save the day. But after that, he went back to his childhood. He really didn't have that much time to mature. Yeah, okay, yeah, he defeated Ganondorf. Yeah, okay, he might have matured a little bit, but then he goes to Termina. A child in Termina? Whew. I feel bad for them. This world is dark, gritty, and depressing. This is where Link learns to be a true hero. This is where Link learns the hardest fact he'll ever have to face. You can't save everyone. You can't. I really connect to this Link. I can't save everyone. I do these videos to raise money for Alzheimer's. I do these videos to raise money for other charities too. I try to save everyone in the world. And hopefully one day I can raise $1 billion through YouTube. I would love that. But at the end of the day, I won't be able to save everyone. Going back to Link, he can't. No matter on his quest, he cannot save every single character. Alright, he's going to help Andrew and Cafe. Well, what about Romani and her sister? Romani's going to be abducted and Karina is not going to be able to sell any money to the farm. What about Lulu? She's going to lose she lost her voice. Her precious babies are stolen by the pirates. She can't get them back. What about the Goron tribe? They're going to freeze over. You're too busy dealing with the stone temple now. You don't care that the Gorons are frozen. They're about to die. But deep down, Link does care. He has to see these people all the time. He has to see these people suffer every single day when he resets time. And through this quest, he's emotionally torn apart. You connect to these characters so well. And Majora's Mask's characters really, really are stunning. You really feel what these characters feel. And I bet Link is torn apart. No matter what, he can't save every single person in those 72 hours. And that's why this Link is the best. And why he's also the best character in Majora's Mask. Oh baby, now I love me some music. I mean, you can go check out my top 10 Zelda songs right over here and see me gush over my favorite tracks. It's a shameless plug-in, but hey, if you want to go check it out, check it out. The soundtrack to Majora's Mask is done other by the great Koji Kondo. And if you don't know who Koji Kondo is, he's responsible for some of the greatest tracks in the Zelda franchise. As talked about in the setting portion of the video, Majora's Mask is a dark and gritty game, and its music adds the feeling of eeriness, sadness, and impending doom. Clocktown's arrangement is a prime example of how amazing the music complements the game. Day 1 of Clocktown has an arrangement of happiness and charming instruments, but as the day goes on and slowly you go to Day 3, madness and fear engulfs the citizens and towns, and you can hear that in the music. Alto Order is another amazing ocarina song that has such a sad melody to it, but with that sadness, you can find hope for the player to save the day. Along with many other tracks that immerses the player in the games, Majora's Mask is filled with tunes that are extremely remarkable, ranging from the Deku Palace to the Milk Bar theme, and the ending, the so famous Song of Healing. Koji Kondo did an amazing job with the soundtrack. To me, this has the best soundtrack in the Zelda franchise. Majora's Mask gameplay and mechanics is what makes it unique compared to any other Zelda game. It's still an action-adventure puzzle game. Link still controls the same Ocarina of Time, but the biggest change is the mechanics of the 3-day time system. Without using the inverse Song of Time, the 3-day cycle gives the player about 54 minutes to defeat dungeons, side quests, and explore the land. With the inverse Song of Time, however, I'm going to plop it up over here, and that's the calculations of how much you get. Alright, going with that, Link can use masks, which aid him in this adventure. 4 transformation masks that hold the spirit of the dead and give Link the power to become a Deku, a Goron, a Zora, and a Demon, and 20 regular masks that range from usefulness and cosmetics. Collecting regular masks is part of the vast series of side quests. Other than that, if you played Ocarina of Time, you won't have trouble beating this game until you get to the Great Bay Temple. Say what you want about the Deadly Water Temple in Ocarina of Time. It has nothing on the hell of the Great Bay Temple. And I'm happy that they're gonna fix it in the 3DS version. Compadres and mamacitas, you made it to the final portion of the video, and this is where I'll be talking about my personal memories with the game. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet because you heard me talk about the last 23 minutes of why I think this game is perfect, and I don't want to gush anymore to annoy you guys. Guys, it all started when I used to go over to my Thea's house and play Nintendo 64 with my cousin John Paul. He saw me how much I loved this game. I was so immersed in it when I used to grab the controller and play and run around Termina. Then he gave me the copy of the game. When I got home, I would plug it in my Nintendo 64, be it after school or staying up at night, and it immersed me, and I felt like I was actually in Termina. This game is art to me, guys, and it's weird to call video game art, but to me, it's a perfect masterpiece. Everything about this game, be the story, setting, plot, and music, intertwines together so perfectly that it can be hanged up in a museum. It's perfect to me. I can't wait for the Nintendo 3DS version. I can't wait to see this game remastered. And I know there's people like, oh, well, the swimming's different. Oh, they changed the bosses. Shut up. who really cares if they minorly tweaked some things? It's not gonna break the experience. It's still gonna have the same characters, story, setting, music, gameplay. It's still gonna be mostly the same, but a little bit remastered. This game is perfect. Be it the first time I played this game or when I got all the footage for this game, that's my personal memories. I love this game, be it I think about it or I play it. It is just a great experience, guys. It is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful masterpiece in the Zelda franchise. But then I'm afraid for this game. The Zelda fan base is the worst thing imaginable. And the worst fan base is in this because of one damn urban legend, and that is Ben. Ben spits on this game. The Ben fan base kicks this game and curb stomps it because they treat it nothing more than garbage. And that's what that fan base truly is. It's garbage. That's what they ruined. Oh my god, I sound like an angry fanboy, but they don't appreciate this game. They don't appreciate everything that this game has to offer. They just make fake Google Plus accounts and be like, oh, you shouldn't have done it. LOL, I memed. I really hope when the 3DS version comes out that these people actually play and feel different about this game. They're like, wow, this game is not an urban legend. This game is a masterpiece. I don't really mean to yell at you and bash the Ben fan base, but guys, this is not a stupid creepypasta. This game is a black sheep of the Zelda franchise that's absolutely stunning and magnificent in every single way. Guys, I hope if you ever liked Majora's Mask, my video shines some light on it. Maybe you're going to give it another shot. Or maybe you agree with me and why you think Majora's Mask is so awesome or so perfect in my view. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And thanks for watching. Stay sexy. Once again, my compadres and mamacitas, thank you for watching this video. Like I said in the past, when you watch these videos, money is made. That money is automatically donated to charity. I keep none of the funds, and I do all of these videos for charity. So if you could please share this video on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Reddit, or any social media you can so we can raise more money for charities, I would really, really appreciate it, guys. Let's help the world out, and that's a great way just by watching videos and me entertaining you guys. Guys, if you want to check out my top 10 Zelda songs, you can click right over here, or since it's Majora's Mask month, let's make some Chateau Romani. I made my first cooking video about how to make some Chateau Romani, so you can click that over there. And I like to give shoutouts to other YouTubers because I think everyone should deserve a little bit of credit. Everyone works hard on this website. So on the right-hand side, that's the Majora's Mask Opera. There's a channel who's doing an entire opera dedicated to Majora's Mask. So go click it out and check it and show them your love, guys, because they are truly, truly amazing in what they do. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of the videos for Majora's Mask month, because February we'll be doing another Cuckoo's Kitchen. Will be how to make the rock sirloin in Majora's Mask. And the last thing I'll be doing is the 100% complete Majora's Mask walkthrough for charity, because, hey, I love Majora's Mask and I love to raise money for charity. So I hope you guys will enjoy the rest of what February has to offer. Thank you for watching this video, and adios and stay sexy.